What's happening? And this is a Relax Radio with none other than me, Nick, keeping you company, on the final few moments of the show. If you're wondering what this is a real talk. I'll be talking about all the real things that's happening right now. And yeah, talking about it though, looking at the space project scrubbed in the UK overseas aid cut. Yeah, that is something that we're going to be talking about. And yeah, so apparently there has been 10 initiatives that would have used space data to tackle developing world problems such as human trafficking and flood vulnerability have had their support canceled. Yeah, in a time like this, for them to cancel off the aid like that is just not the greatest of news that we're expecting, especially with what's happening around the globe right now. So ministers are dropping the commitment to spend 0.7% of GNI on foreign aid. That's a drop right there. And the results of the COVID financial pressure also, the move is supposed to be temporary until the world, until all the countries' economy gets back on its feet. So yeah, there's been a lot of this, but for the affected projects right now, it has left them scrambling, to find different alternatives financing in an attempt to keep their ideas alive. I mean, yeah, like if you don't get enough proper funding, if the fundings are cut, especially these projects like these important projects like space projects right now that are happening around the world, that'll benefit us as a whole, is gonna be it's gonna die out, and they're trying to keep it up with alternative financing methods rather. So the projects all fall under the UK Space Agency's award-winning International Partners Program, the IPP. The IPP has grant funded 43 projects in 47 countries across Africa, Asia Pacific, and Latin America since its launch back in 2016, and is acknowledged, by independent assessment to have had high impact. So annual spending has been about 20 million pounds. Yeah, they've been spending 20 million pounds a year, for all the projects that they've been doing. But, there's not been any new collaboration or if any new collaboration is going to start right now, none of it is going to be supported between the years 2021 to 2022. And it's mostly the pandemic to blame. It's mostly the virus, the coronavirus right now. So the 10 projects that received initial or discovery funding last August have been told they won't get the cash to move forward to the delivery phase. So yeah, that's very unfortunate right now. So yeah, his tech team is using satellites. So Dr. Andrea Berardi from the Open University described the decision as sad, embarrassing, and frankly baffling given the small sums involved. And his, detect team is using satellite radar data to find areas of water that are potential breeding zones for malaria-carrying mosquitoes. Yeah. I mean, that is something that would really benefit the world overall, especially, countries like Africa and all that are suffering from endemic mosquitoes like this malaria, the sickness malaria. So yeah, their whole project, depends on drone investigating these pools of standing water to deliver, a safe biocontrol agent. So they've been saying a lot of things. So Dr. Barati actually said that, he thinks that we have revolutionized mosquito vector control in hard to reach areas, especially like the Amazon region, where basically all other control methods have completely failed. And we have made promises to governments in 3 countries, Guyana, Vietnam, and Sri Lanka, that we'll be offering solutions to them with the UK government support. And this is, incredibly damaging to the reputation of the UK. Yeah, that is something, they're talking about, like how this has serious repercussions. It is affecting the UK's reputation across the world, as a country that keeps its promises, that tries to keep its promises. For something like this to happen, I mean, it's difficult for them to show face. So yeah, the Earth observation consultant, Dr. Geoff Smith, has been working on the University of Nottingham's lead satellite sargassum monitoring system, in short, SASAMS. So yeah, the SASAMS, I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. So yeah, they are using spacecraft imagery to find, problematic seaweed invasions along Mexico's Caribbean coast. That is something they're doing right now. They're looking for large quantities of this sargassum that can disrupt the local ecosystem by smothering these seagrasses and coral and the fish that live among them, and this will damage, tourism, because people don't want to visit blighted beaches. And that is true. People, like I was talking about the other day, about how the seaweed in Australia and Spain are suffering from endangerment because especially those plants, those plants are one of the reasons. These underwater plants are one of the reasons why the emission of CO2 is being controlled in the environment. So yeah, that is something that they're talking about. And Dr. Smith also says, that we've developed the technology, engaged with stakeholders, and we're looking forward to seeing the operational phase. And then we get a letter that says it wasn't going to happen. I mean that is like, a scene like, hey, everything's all right. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing that. They have so much expectation, so much of hope, and then all of it to go on down in the drain, but with just one letter, saying that this is not going to happen. So what puzzled most of these IPP teams, though, is the emphasis put on their type of international engagement in, especially like the yesterday's integrated review, which set out new foreign policies objectives for a post-Brexit Britain. So the overseas development assistance approach was praised in the document, which led Jeremy Farr, the director of the Wellcome Trust, to comment that there's a growing gulf between rhetoric and reality in the government support for science, and the integrated review is full of fantastic and achievable ambitions. But the words are meaningless if they're not backed up with funding, because end of the day, dreams will always be dreams without the proper capital. So yeah, that's something he's talking about. So the UK Space Agency disperses the funds it receives from the Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. A BEIS spokesperson said that the UK remains a world-leading aid donor, will be spending more than £10 billion this year to address poverty, tackle climate change, fight COVID, and improve global health. And, we're currently working out with delivery partners, including the UK Space Agency, to implement the new settlement for 2021-2022 and protect the most effective research programs. So yeah, ministers are intending to set out their broader R&D plans very shortly. So, we'll get a look about that very soon right now. And yeah, there's a lot. And the Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab, has also said the decision to cut overseas aid from 0.7% of the UK's gross national income, the GNI, to 0.5% will be reversed when the fiscal situation allows it. The situation right now in the country is looking rather bleak, especially, with people not getting, not enough jobs right now, people getting laid off of jobs. And that is the situation right now, especially with the pandemic. Also, there's not been much support from the EU as well, with the situation, the rising tensions. Hopefully it'll get solved with the relationships that we're tying with China and Japan and all the other, Asian countries that the UK are trying to build relations with. So yeah, the UK's National Research Funding Agency, UKRI, informed scientists last week by letter that there will be a £120 million shortfall for the projects it supports through the international aid budget. So yeah, the UK Space Agency's IPP projects already in the delivery phase will receive their expected funding this year. So although the whole scene is halted right now, they're planning to complete what they've completed so far with the limited amount of a budget that they received. Yeah, that is some stuff around, right? Stuff like the science stuff right there. Stuff about this project, the space projects, and how a lot of these budget cuts are affecting the future prospects of these space projects. But with that being said, I've been saying a lot. I've been saying more. I've been saying it all. We got to step into some more music. Up next, we got something by Dua Lipa. So check it out.